Hi there, it's Brent here again, productivity coach. And what I do is I show people how to attain high level sustainable productivity. So here's the journey that I'm on, and here's what I'm trying to accomplish in my life or intending to accomplish in my life. And as I say this, this is my invitation for you to join me as we figure this out together, as we learn how to navigate this territory and move from here. So I don't know about you exactly, but there's a lot of stuff that I hope to accomplish in this lifetime. For example, like I have some aptitude towards music, and I would love to just move into a high enough level of musical mastery that I would be satisfied with it. So that I'm like, I look at my musical ability, I'm like, yeah, okay, like I'm stoked, that's good enough for me. Same with writing. For example, I would love to produce a bunch of books, and I would love for them to become, say, famous and successful, and for many people to read them. I'd like to do a whole bunch of traveling. I'd love to earn a whole bunch of money. And what I want to do is I want to grow my whole operation and manifest my talent and my aptitude and my potential to the fullest extent that I possibly can. Just if only just to show that I did it and that I was able to do it, just to see how good I can get and how big I can become. And there's not too much of a sense of attachment behind it, like, oh, I need fame, I need recognition, I need money. Like, you and I, like, we've dabbled in spirituality, and we can see beyond that to a certain extent. But just it really would be cool to see, like, how great can we become? How much can we do? How much can we become? These strike me as important questions and very interesting questions. And not only like does the pursuit of these questions lead to great fulfillment and great flow and enjoyment and all these things, but it also allows us to start actualizing our gifts, like manifesting like our deepest, most unique, most specialized gifts that literally only we can do. And so if you think about somebody that that's like super actualized, whether it's like somebody in your life or somebody that you like that's famous that you're aware of, and just think about them and think about the contributions that they have made to your life and to the lives of many people. And even though they may have done things that other people do, say like they have written a book or they have put out a movie or a TV series, what they put out, even though it's like one of many, it is a very unique, very individual contribution that is there's nothing quite like it anywhere else. There are maybe other copies or things that are kind of similar, but there's nothing quite like it. Like, say for example, I don't know, like the rapper Jay-Z comes to mind. I'm not even like, I don't listen to so much of his stuff, but is there anybody quite like Jay-Z or say Snoop Dogg or or like say in the business world, like say Tim Ferriss or Elon Musk or people who make movies or make TV shows, right? It's just, or actors, famous actors or scientists, or historical geniuses like, say Einstein or Newton or whoever. It's like people, like they've just offered these like very specific contributions to humanity that are just like a one-off and only could have come from that one person. And so whatever's in us to give, I want to do that. I want to create that and offer that up. And it strikes me as a very high priority. And I'm also convinced that doing this, it's like it's what humanity needs from us. It's required by humanity from us. So that's the place that I operate from. That's the journey that I'm on. And so whenever I make these videos, I like to be really clear. Like I like to come here and just like talk your ears off, and that's kind of fun. But these lessons that I offer, they're coming from my own experience because I'm on this journey myself. I'm figuring this out in real time. And I've made some progress that I'm stoked about, but there's like a shit ton of progress that I've not yet made. And I'm figuring it out. And so every time I figure out a nugget, I come here and I bring it out to share with you. And so that's what I want to keep doing. And I hope that you feel excited, ideally, to come back to this channel and to dive into this material with me so that you and I, all of us together, can figure out how to really get on track, get in that groove, get in flow, get into that positive upward growth spiral that would allow us to do all this. So that's where I'm at with all that. And so to that end, the title of this video is How Not to Burn Out. Because I've experienced burnout recently, and I've experienced burnout, like I frequently experience burnout. And I started looking at it just, before it was just kind of like the furniture of my life. Like I just experienced burnout and it would just be what it is. And And I just experienced burnout recently, and it kind of occurred to me, I'm like, wait, like, do I actually have to do this? Like, must I burn out every single time? I'll go through these cycles, right, where I will, it might be, say, like 3 weeks up. So I'll be like up like for 3 weeks, and I'm at the crest of my wave. I'm crushing it. I'm up on time. I'm working out. I'm doing the right output. I'm prioritizing. I'm focused. I'm clear. I'm eating my spinach. Like, I'm just like, firing at all 8 cylinders. And then that will last for as long as it lasts, usually 3 weeks. And then after that, what will happen is like the sort of the signs, the feeling sense of burnout starts to come in. And so then I'll enter the stage where I'm not quite burning out yet, but I'm about to. And then, like, as I feel that, I'll be like, oh no, I need to double down on my efforts. So I'm going to start going harder at things. But I get into this rut where I'm offering more effort, but I'm getting less results back. And so then that starts to get frustrating and a little frightening, even because I'm really attached to this up energy. And I've promised myself I would be at this upward energy forever and ever. And so it starts coming to a close, and then I'm like, fuck, no. And then eventually, like, the burnout just happens, and it doesn't matter anymore what I want or what I'm doing. I'm just burning out. And so then it's like, okay, then I'm down, and like I'm just kind of doing the minimum of my responsibilities in order to get through. And if I'm lucky, I can maybe like just kind of keep it under the hood and just kind of like take care of my responsibilities as best as I can, and then spend the rest of the time recovering. And that might last around 2 weeks. And so this is like, and then until I can get back up. And so that's like a 5-week cycle. And as I speak to you now, I'm kind of a little bit more on the up and up. But if you see me, my last 2 videos, I'm kind of a little bit run down and kind of not at full capacity. So my theory about burnout is this, and I believe you'll agree. It's that, like, burnout happens because like we're sprinting, like we're going at shit like really, really hard, and we're doing our best. And so then that's like, of course, really productive when we're going really hard like that. But then, we run out of juice, and then we burn out. And then of course we're like half as productive, or like probably even less. Like we're nowhere near full capacity at all. And my theory is that, like, going about a cycle that way, as opposed to like a different way of life, which would just be like an even Steven keel all the way through without any like massive sprints or like burnout either, just like kind of keeping it clean and even. My theory is that the second way would actually be more beneficial than the first way. So in other words, it's better to just be on an even keel instead of like big ups and downs, because when we do the ups and downs, the downs just derail us so completely that it's that we lose too much in the process. So therefore, if that's correct, and that's what I'm experimenting with now, so I'll let you know, if that's correct, then we should figure out how to live in such a way that we don't burn out. And so I have a couple ideas that I believe will work. And so that's what I'm going to share with you presently, how to not burn out. So the main idea is as so. I will tell you as soon as I sip my coffee. So the main idea is as so, that the ship is supposed to float. So in other words, whenever we go through a single 24-hour cycle, we're supposed to meet all of our needs so completely that by the time the next 24-hour cycle begins, we are refreshed and we're good to go and we're ready to keep the whole ship moving. So if you are at work, say, and going from 8 a.m. from one day until 8 a.m. the next day, you don't get enough, say, renewal. You don't have enough time to decompress from work, and you don't get enough time to renew and relax and take care of yourself, so that you are more tired going into the next day than you were the day before. Then what that means is that time is stacked against you. So what it means is that if you keep living your life as you're living it, you will get progressively more tired until the whole thing collapses. So that's what I mean by the ship must float. We must figure out a way to live a whole 24-hour cycle so that we can actually come at it with the same amount of energy, totally refreshed, or even more energy, so that every day brings us increasing more energy. That might be pretty cool, and I think that might be possible. The same applies doubly so for a whole week cycle. So if you go through like 5 work days, like if you're like me, I like to work 5 days and take 2 days off. So you work the whole 5 days and then you have a weekend. At the end of the weekend, you should be refreshed, and you should even, ideally, I believe we should have some enthusiasm for the upcoming week. We should be like kind of ready to get into it and kind of excited and have some kind of a positive anticipation. So that's the model. That's how this should work. And so if we're not doing that, then, so in other words, if we're getting more tired over time, then that means we are off center. And what this usually means is that we are attempting to get through our lives. So I have a video from before that I'll link in the description if I remember to do it, which is called Operate from Your Center. So it's a very, very key idea here. Very, very central, very important idea to operate from your center. So when you're operating from your center, like to kind of summarize it super quickly, it means that you're not forward heavy. You're not trying to get into the future, and you are not suspending like your basic idea of wellness for some kind of future moment. So it's like when we say stuff like, oh, I just need to get through this period. Like I just need to get through this week or this month or this year. And then once I get through, then I'll be okay. Then I can relax, and then I can kind of, live my life and be happy and whatever. That is you attempting to get through the now. So attempting to escape the now, or to kind of apply some kind of holding pattern on yourself until you get over there. And if you do that, that puts you on a burnout course, because every time we chase a future moment, it tends not to end until we decide to stop chasing future moments. So in other words, when we we think, okay, maybe when I get there, I'll be okay. But whenever we do actually get to the end of that week or that month, there always just tends to be something else that we need to wait for. And so then the cycle continues. Like, have you not found that in your own life? Where like can you pull up a memory of wanting something, or like trying to get to a certain point and then actually getting there? It doesn't need to be like a big dramatic example, but just like a memory of like getting somewhere, or wanting to get somewhere, thinking that it's like really important and that like it will just unlock all sorts of wellness and freedom and relaxation and relief once you get there, only to get there and realize, oh no, there's another step after that. So so what I'm describing here is what it means to be off center. This, again, trying to get through, trying to get past, not really grounding yourself, your attention into the present moment. So that's what I mean by being off center. That's what I mean by being top heavy, and that's what I mean by it. And that's how you create this kind of, like, we can always justify a ship that doesn't float if we think that we can just get there. But again, we want the ship to float. So what we need to do then, so the basic idea of what we need to do in order to not burn out is to release this hypnosis that I need to get there. And ideally to release the hypnosis of need entirely. So when I say that, I know that sounds kind of strange, but this might be a little bit too vague. I'm going to go for it anyway. Just broadly speaking, what is it that you believe you need in order to be okay? Like, what future moment do you need to get to, or what point in your life do you need to get to? Or what level of income or level of success do you need to get to? Or what kind of relationship do you need to attract so that you can finally be okay? So that's just a hypnosis, because anything that you can achieve, accomplish, or receive, it's just a rearranging of the peripheral, surface level aspects of your experience. None of it will actually bring you the wellness that you're waiting for. So do your best to wake up out of that hypnosis, because if you can do that, then you can start plugging deeper into your experience as it is and start making it a little bit more sustainable. So I'm going to cap off this video by telling you how to do it. I got 3 things for you to actually do to make this happen. And I'd be grateful, by the way, like if you do this, do any one of these or all three, and if you get results, would you please return to the comments section and let us know? Because there would be a ton of people who would love to scroll through the comments and see if this actually works and creates results. Because, I'd be really grateful, and we would actually be able to take a significant step in reducing burnout for a lot of people. So please consider leaving a comment. So here are the three things. So number one is this. So this is kind of like a first aid style thing for you to do. If you find yourself now in burnout, so as you're listening to this, you're like, man, there's so much that I have to do and I can't do it. I don't have the energy, and I'm probably being lazy. Like I could probably force myself to do it, but I don't seem to be forcing myself to do it. And I'm just wasting all this time. And I hate myself for wasting all this time. If that's you, chill. Step one is surrender into the burnout. So you're out of energy and you believe you're being lazy, but really you're just totally running on fumes right now. Surrender to it. Relax, give it to yourself. Realize that the quicker and more completely you can surrender to burnout, the more completely you can recover and get your energy back. If you're kind of like burning out, but you're fighting it, then it slows everything down and you can't really recover and you kind of stay. It just kind of puts you out of commission for too long. So surrender. If you're lying down, if you have the desire to be horizontal, as one of my clients put it, then just surrender into it and do it as completely as you can. Give it to yourself as a gift and avoid the temptation to judge yourself, because you're probably judging yourself way too harshly and it's creating way too hostile of an atmosphere inside of you. So just relax and then you recover. So that's number one. Number two is ask yourself this: what needs do you have that are not being met, that are not being sufficiently met? What do you need? Do you need more nutrition? Do you need more rest? Do you need more downtime? Do you need to read more? Do you need to get outside more? Do you need more cardio? Do you need more attention? Do you need a massage? Do you need more stimulating conversation? Do you need more friends? What needs do you have? Do you need to maybe drink less alcohol? Do you need to take less drugs? Do you need to eat less junk food? Eat less of one particular junk food? Do you need to drink more water? So whatever it is, figure out what needs that you have that are going unmet, especially at the service of just trying to get through into a future moment, and then start meeting them. Because when you can meet your needs and do it every single day and every single week, everything will be a lot more hospitable for you. Things will just feel better and there'll be more enjoyment and lightness in your life. And then number three is, this is challenging. I'm going to challenge you with this one. Conduct yourself as if your situation now, as it is going to be this way forever. So of course you're going to move into your future. You're going to accomplish your potential. It's going to happen to you and me, especially as we remain committed to it. But for the time being, imagine your situation were never, ever, ever, ever going to change, and there's no hope of it changing. How could you conduct yourself so that you can start making this reality a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more enjoyable, a little bit more light? Because remember, right, I say this all the time, where all of us are trying to get into the future, and what that looks like objectively is we're trying to get into our imagination. We can't evacuate into our imagination. It's not possible. The life of our dreams that we wish to create for ourselves is made out of this. The clay that we're shaping is this clay. Your life now, your experience now, your situation now, your body now, the whole thing. So we're transforming this into that. So we need to come in as much as we possibly can into our bodies and into our experience and into our life, and then start improving it increment by increment, bit by bit, so that it can take on the shape that we want it to take. Only through this engagement can we really do that. So we have to double down on our commitment again and again and again to turn this into that, instead of just trying to get there, get that. It's always, like that future kind of orientation. So that's it. Yeah, I got some notes here. Yeah, that's it. So that's how to avoid burnout. If you're trying to get into the future, you're probably on a burnout course. Turn this reality into a good one. Make this ship float. Make the whole thing sustainable. And that's how you can do it. In terms of announcements, do you want a one-on-one coaching session with me, a productivity coaching session? If we do this, I will actually get a chance to meet you and talk with you, and we can figure out what you can start doing right away to get your shit up to a higher level. There's usually a lot of low-hanging fruit. There's a lot of stuff that we can quickly discover and establish so that you can really take things up in a short period of time, vis-a-vis the 80-20 principle. So get in touch with me or click the link down below. Your first session is $5. It's the best deal ever. And that's all I got for you for now. You take care. Good to chat with you. Goodbye.